Welcome back everyone to more iRacing here at Kneepit Gaming. In today's video, we're headed to Talladega, and I must say, this might possibly be the hardest video I've had to do here for the channel. And the reason is because the AI at Talladega are a little bit more flighty, a little bit riskier than at some of the other tracks. Now, the Super Speedway package, the plate track package in general, in iRacing, it needs some work, shall we say. But Talladega is even more challenging because the track is wider. The AI get more and more aggressive. You end up with a lot of four wide at Talladega. So it was very challenging. In fact, you can probably tell I'm losing my voice a little bit because of all the times I have attempted to record these races. All right, so as far as the options, let's very quickly move through those. The weather will once again be set based on the track itself. We're going to attempt to do 20 green flag laps. Now, here on this channel, I don't do wrecks and, wreck compilations. I haven't done any of that type of thing because I prefer the green flag racing. That's what I'm trying to get. That's the action I want rather than all of the flips and the insanity that can happen, particularly on iRacing with some of the crash physics that they have. We don't want any cars flying through the air, getting stuck in the catch fence and all that kind of thing here during the race. So we're going to try to get 20 green flag laps. As usual, we have disabled the car damage because our goal here is not about trying to get the ultimate realism and all the beating and the banging that you see and all the effects that have on the car. We want the cars at maximum strength so we can have the most fun possible. As usual, I'll be using the BR 2021 Cup car set available through Trading Paints. If you're interested in the particular scheme that I'm using, I try to change that up as often as possible and race by race, if at all possible. You can see that scheme on the thumbnail for today's video, as well as find out more information in the video description about the author and the location of that file. But again, Trading Paints, an amazing website. Highly recommend it if you're one of the few people that has been under a rock and does not know about it. Now, as far as the AI settings, we're going to be looking at a full field for me of 34 drivers. That's the full car set for me. And the skill spread is something very different than what I have done before. Only a 10% skill spread. Normally, at Talladega in the past, I would be using somewhere north of 30, 35, sometimes even 40% spread. However, with this most recent major update, now we're talking the major update, not sometimes the weekly bug fixes and updates that iRacing does. We're talking about the most recent major update. It changed the drafting. And with that, I'm needing to adjust both the AI ratings as well as the skill spread to sort of get back to the type of racing I'm interested in. So this is something that is going to be ongoing. You'll get an opportunity to see what racing with the 10% skill spread looks like. Also, I have reduced the aggressiveness of the AI. That is going to change how they race. So there's a lot of adjusting that can be done to get the AI to race the way you prefer them to race. And then finally, the grid position. Normally, I prefer to start last. However, at Talladega, I have no choice but to start on the pole. The reason being, and we'll talk a little bit more about this once we get into the race, the AI do not start the race well at all at Talladega. In fact, they get spread out very quickly, and it ruins the racing for me because you end up with a lot of single file, and then you end up with 2, maybe 3 packs of cars rather than one big pack, which is what I'm interested in. So by being on the pole, I can take care of that issue on the starts. Everything else is, for the most part, the default settings, except for full course yellows. I have those turned off because, again, we're not interested in caution laps and caution flags. So we're simply going to go the full race under full green conditions. All right, everything else is basically default. We'll be running the afternoon start time. Let's get to racing. As we work our way down the back stretch, headed toward the green flag next time by, a few different things to keep in mind in addition to what we talked about and to expand on what we talked about in the intro. We have 3 basic goals here. Number 1, learn about the AI, learn about their behavior, some things we can tweak to make it more to our liking, because everybody's going to be a little different in what you want from the AI, particularly at a track like this. Some people want 3 and 4 wide for the entire race. Other people want it to ebb and flow, and so on. The second thing is we want a clean race, which is easier said than done here at Talladega, because not only do the AI cause wrecks, well, I cause wrecks so, from time to time, even as much as I try not to. And then the third thing is we want to have fun. And for me, fun is getting the pack racing and keeping the entire pack together, at least as many cars as I possibly can. And that's why we're starting on the pole. The AI do not do the starts well at all. So with me on the pole, they can't start until I start.
Pace car's leaving.
And I'm not going until the flagman goes. Now I'm going to start in second gear here, which is going to be a little bit lower on the RPM. But again, I'm trying to bring us down to as slow a start as I can to give us the best chance of getting 30 plus cars.
Green flag, 20 to go to strike.
In this lead group.
Got one outside.
I can already see the cars. You can see them scattering if you look in the mirror. So right now I'm going to focus on probably just going to try to get out of the way
on the bottom, clear,
and let this develop. I usually prefer to start in the rear in these races. So I'm going to let us get up to speed, and then I'm going to try to get up into that second groove, maybe even third groove, and let this thing develop a little bit. And we got 20 laps. If we can make it 20 laps, then I got to think this thing is going to go through several different changes as far as the race. I'm going to get out of the way. Let these guys start coming through. Now, I would love nothing more than to leave this second pack for a bit, but we'll see how that goes. Right now, I don't see a second pack forming.
Keep it on top.
All right, I'm going to jump down here behind some of these guys as they pull out. Once again, I noticed Trading Paints has not loaded all of the paint schemes. 21 has no paint scheme.
Keep it on top.
Seems to happen every race that I do. It's always something different, but every race it seems like there's at least 1 or 2 cars that do not get loaded in.
Stay on the bottom.
All right, now I'm not going to just hug the bottom the entire time.
You're in the middle, 3 wide.
We're here to have fun, so I want to be in the middle of all this. I want to be in the back, I want to be in the front, I want to be everywhere. Wherever the most fun is, that's where I want to be. And then who knows, we'll see. At the end of the race, over the last few laps, maybe you have a shot to do something for the win.
Clear to the bottom.
But most of all, I'm really just hoping we can make it to the end. That would be the most amazing thing.
You're in the middle, 3 wide. Got one outside.
Also, you have to keep in mind, as this guy is telling me you're in the middle or you're on the top 3 wide.
Stay right there. Got one outside.
The spotters don't have anything for 4 wide. And this is really the only track you have to worry about. But they don't have anything for 4 wide. So anytime he tells me 3 wide, I have to sort of look around me to see if he means truly 3 wide.
Got one inside.
Or if it's actually 4 wide. Because you can get in a lot of trouble not knowing the difference.
Inside.
And unfortunately, the spotter's just not going to be able to tell you that.
Hold your line. Inside. Still there. 3 wide. You're on top. Hold your line.
Ooh.
Got one inside. Still there.
This setup, which is basically the Talladega Open setup. Ouch.
Hold your line.
Oh, we are 4 wide. And I did not know that.
Hold your line. Clear. Still there.
Woo. Okay.
Stay right there.
All right, so we're almost to the back. We're fairly close to the back. Let's see what these guys are doing in front of us. All right, so we got some 2x2, a little bit of 3 wide.
Stay right there.
Things are fairly spread out. Let's see how this continues to change, because I'm guessing we're here on lap 4, and I'm guessing we're going to get 3x3x3 at certain times, and I'm also guessing we're going to be spread out at certain times.
3 wide.
Right now we're tending toward the spread out.
Hold your line.
Even though I'm doing
Hold your line.
my part to try to bring back as much of this side-by-side 3 wide as I can.
Hold your line.
Oh, easy. I was dragging the brake heavily there.
Hold your line.
my experience, most of the 4 wide is what
Hold your
causes
line.
those huge slowdowns
Got one
that
inside.
you get from
Still
the
there.
AI.
Keep it on top.
Because the
You're on
AI
top,
basically
3
work
wide.
themselves into a bind where there's just no more
Hold your
room.
line. Inside. Still there.
And they sort of freak out because they don't know what to do.
You're on top, 3 wide.
There's not enough room for everybody.
Hold your line. Hold your line.
All right, so we are now at the back of the field.
Inside. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear to the bottom.
And we are going nowhere. But that's okay. So everything has now gotten spread out. We'll see how long that lasts. So we're here on lap 6. All right, hop in there. Yeah, hop in there, Kyle. Give you a little push. See if we can't make up a little bit of ground. When it's like this, I spend most of my time looking forward to try to see what the AI are doing up front. Right now, we really need them to start running side by side in 3 wide, sort of slow the pack down a little bit, and we can all get caught up and get back to some pack racing. But yeah, we have definitely gotten spread out now. Every race is a little bit different, which is also fun with the AI. So you don't just get in here and get the same racing time after time. If I'm not careful here, I'm going to get left behind. I'm going to lose this draft. So the AI are a little bit faster overall on the top end. Alright, so now we're starting to get caught back up.
Still there. You're up top, 3 wide.
You can see I am not one to stay in line here. That's not the most fun way for me to
Clear
play
all
this.
around. Got one
But I
inside.
am trying to keep it to 3 wide and not make it
Still
4.
there. Clear to the bottom.
Alright, nothing happening up there.
Got one outside.
Let's try to get caught back up. And usually
Hold
the
your
best way to
line.
do that is on the
Outside. Still
bottom.
there. Clear to the top. Outside. Stay low. 3 wide. You're on the bottom. Got one outside. Still there. Clear outside.
So keep in mind, this is with a very small spread. This spread is much less than what I would normally use here, which would be somewhere along
Got one
30,
outside.
35 or so.
Keep low.
Not anymore.
Keep low.
In my experience, not since the most recent update that did the drafting, the major update I'm talking about, not the
Stop.
some of the weekly updates that they do for bug fixes.
Got one outside. Stay
Drafting
low.
has changed such
Clear
that it is much
outside.
easier for these guys, seemingly, to get spread out, which is exactly what's happening right now. So that means maybe we get back to less and less
Got one
of
outside.
a spread.
Clear outside.
But up in front of us, yeah, they're 3 by 3. Where are you going, 48 car? Get back over here. I need you to catch up.
Got one inside. Still there. Still there. Keep it on top.
I did not want to be here on the outside. I was
Stay
waiting
high.
until we got caught up. But the bug drafting did not go exactly as planned.
Keep it on top. Stay high.
All right, big run on the 18. Drag the
Stay
brakes
right
so we
there.
stay off of it. Right now, most important thing would be for us to catch up.
Stay high.
Because I want to get in that big pack.
3 wide. You're the meat. Keep digging. Clear to the bottom. Still there. You're in the middle. 3 wide. Let me go
18
straight.
car
Hold your
came
line.
right
Inside.
down.
Still there. Stay right there.
But you can see that the big pack is not going anywhere. Are we clear? All right, we are. I wasn't sure or not. I didn't hear him apparently when he said clear. Alright, here we go. Sure enough, here we are, right back to the back of the main pack. So halfway through the race, we've seen a few different styles of racing, but it hasn't gotten quite as intense as it sometimes can. As I've seen it in other of my test races. Alright, so again, I'm going to stick with the bottom here for
you're on the bottom.
a little bit,
Hold your line.
just to sort of gauge what's going on.
Got one outside, still there. Keep to the bottom. Stay on the bottom.
Try to eke my way up into this second groove, though.
Stay on the bottom.
Wasn't sure where that 3-car was going on the outside.
Hold your line.
Oh, heavy on the brakes, heavy on the brakes.
Hold your line. Hold your line.
Yeah, that was intense.
Hold your
I
line.
was hard on the brakes for a good bit of 3 and 4.
Inside, still there. Still there. Here in the middle, 3 wide. Got one inside, still there.
There's that
Keep it
21
on
car
top,
again with
clear.
no paint scheme loaded. That is so aggravating with the way that happens.
Outside,
Looks like I'm going to have to take things in my own hands.
still there. 3 wide, good meet. Got one inside, still there.
Maybe I can fix
Stay
that.
high.
Oh, here we go.
3 wide, good meet. Clear the
Yeah, let's
bottom,
go right
still
through the
there.
middle. I really want to get up in that
Hold your
top
line.
groove, though. If we get some momentum.
Hold your line.
Oh, nope, not there.
Hold your line. Inside, still there. Still there. You're in the top 20. Still there.
All right, sure enough, we are, where are
Stay
we?
high.
About 15th or so.
Clear the bottom.
I really don't want to go back to the bottom, but it seems like we're almost getting spread back out again.
Inside. Still there.
So again, looks like more narrow spreads
You're up top, 3
could be
wide.
the thing. Now also keep in mind I have reduced
Hold
the
your
aggression
line.
of the driver. That's also a key factor in this.
Hold your line.
More aggressive drivers mean that they're going to pull out
Hold your line.
and look for passes more often. They're not going to try to stay in line, which is what you're seeing here.
Got one inside, still there. Keep it up, keep digging. Stay right there. You're up top, 3 wide. Hold your line. Inside, still there. Stay high.
All right, so couldn't get a third lane
Stay right there.
up there, at least not for very long. Not long enough to get any momentum, so we'll have to stick
Right.
side by side right now.
Keep it on top.
About 205 here. That is, that's carrying a little bit of speed.
Keep high.
Starting to see a third lane form up there. Really hoping that stays together and adds a few more cars.
Keep high.
Unfortunately, they can't keep it together.
3 wide, you're on top. Inside, still there. You're in the middle, 3 wide. You're on the bottom, 5 to go.
So maybe
Hold
these
your
drivers
line.
aren't quite aggressive enough for this.
Clear all around. Outside.
Oh, let's do 4 wide.
Got
shall
one
we?
outside, still there. Clear to the top. Outside.
All right, and we
Stay
find
on the
ourselves
bottom.
back on the bottom, which is
3 wide,
not
you're on
where
the
I was
bottom.
aiming.
Outside, still
Try
there.
to avoid the bottom most of the time.
Still there.
Oh, look
Slow.
out. Hard on the brakes. Hard on the brakes for a super speedway, that is.
Stay on the bottom.
This
Stay on
isn't
the bottom,
hard.
3 wide.
Oh.
Outside, still there. Stay on the bottom. You're on the bottom, 3 wide. Hold your line.
I definitely do not like this groove through the trial.
Hold your line. You're in the top 20.
Do not like
Got one
it.
outside, still there.
Oh,
Keep
somebody
slow.
got into our right rear there. Check the
3 wide,
18.
you're on the bottom.
Is he giving us a friendly love tap?
Outside, still there. 3 wide, you're on
Kind
the
of love
bottom.
tap that starts Rex.
Hold your line. Clear, clear. Outside.
You can
Stay
see the
low.
outside is just not formed up good enough.
Keep
They
low.
just cannot maintain a lane down there, which is odd given the spread
Stay on the bottom.
and even though I talked about reducing
Clear.
the aggressiveness, I mean, these are it's still pretty
Inside.
aggressive.
Still there.
Ooh, I wanted to jump out there with Chastain.
Stay right
He is
there. You're in the middle,
dropping
3
like a rock.
wide. Hold your line. Clear. Still there.
Again, I really want to get up in that third groove, but we just can't seem to get enough
Stay right
cars up
there.
there to stay.
3 wide. You're the meat. Got one
Alright.
inside. Still there. Keep it on top.
Come on, guys. Let's figure. Oh, look out. That was it.
Clear inside.
Yep, that was our opportunity to have a big wreck, and that would have been all my fault.
Inside.
All right,
Keep
4
it on
wide in
top.
front.
Stay right there. 3 wide. You're the meat.
So why not come and join them?
Hold your line. You're up top. 3 wide.
With this setup, the tail wags the
your line.
dog sometimes on this thing.
You're in the middle. 3 wide.
And
Hold your line.
of course, part of that is the draft. It's just
2 laps to
air is
go.
moving you around.
Stop. Still there. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep digging. Stay high. Keep it on top. You're on top. 3 wide. Hold your line. Hold your line.
All right, this is where I wanted
Hold
to
your
get
line.
to, see if we can get some momentum up here. What I don't want is to get hung up here 4 wide on the top, because then all my help will leave.
Hold your line. Clear.
Oh, and the third lane disappeared.
Outside.
Just right before
Clear.
my eyes. This is
White flag next time by us.
Holy cow, white flag.
Outside. 3 wide.
Let's
You're
get
the
to
meat.
it.
Clear. Still there.
We have, let's see, can we get to the front? If we can get some momentum out here.
Stay right there.
Everything's getting spread out.
Still there. Keep high. Clear to the bottom. Got one outside. Clear to the top. Got one inside. Still there.
Me and the AI bump drafting just doesn't seem to work
Stay
out
right
well.
there.
All right, let's go.
3 wide. You're the meat.
See, we're just push and
Hold your
shove.
line. Inside. Still there.
All right, how did that come home?
There's a flag.
We made
Over.
it.
Bring it on
We
home
made
and let's get
it
out of
20
here.
laps. I wasn't sure we were going to make it, especially one time. Look at okay, everybody's just going to cram in here now. Okay, so 13th it looks like. Not bad. I will take it. 13th position. Woo! More importantly than that, 20 laps in the books. And as far as I can tell, there weren't any big wrecks. If there were, it didn't take out many cars. So it would have been like maybe 1 or 2 cars involved. So I'll take that. Again, it's a learning opportunity. I would have preferred maybe a little bit more 3 wide than we got. Things were more spread out than I would have preferred. So that means for me, that means more testing. Maybe testing with some more narrow spreads on the skill, and also maybe more aggressive drivers. I have brought the aggressiveness down quite a bit. Still in that 70 range for the on the high side, but maybe I need to go back up some with it. So a lot of fun, but also a lot of possibilities for the future. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and stick around for more iRacing here at Knee Pit Gaming.